Horizon Gens, I'm Rex, and this is True Facts and Mutualism. I don't know what that is. Ants are fascinating, I guess, species. I never thought about ants before, but then I reacted because there's a video about ants. There are 3 videos of ants. Hopefully I'll do more of them in the future, but that surprised me how ants work. They make things, they wage wars. They're really complex. They even have cattle of some other type of insects. This is ridiculous. And I reacted to army ant video from this zefrank1 that was funny as F. And now this, I don't know which type of ants these are, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Mutualism, I don't know what he's gonna talk about here. zefrank1 is a great channel. I reacted to 2-3 videos already. If you haven't seen them, check out the link in the description. They are there somewhere. I love how his sounds really documentary narrator sound, but he also makes a joke here and there, and his jokes are awesome too. I mean, yesterday I reacted to about what are the snails or something like that video. His jokes were just so damn awesome. Sometimes I needed a second to figure them out, but yeah, they were awesome. So yeah, let's watch this one. Remember, people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction today. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast with the different playlists like Tier Zoo, Overly Sarcastic Production, Inter Historian, CGP Grey, Kuzgazar, Nutshell, and yeah, let's watch this one.
Near the not-so-fluffy carpet of the forest floor, one of the most remarkable farmers in nature is busy at work. The leafcutter ant carefully dissects living leaves weighing up to 20 times its body weight. He will join his fellow ants in the long march back to his hidey hole. Good job, Terrence. That is a good leaf. Milo, Angie, well done. Good, Katie. David, come back, David. That's poop. This caravan of leaf-cutter ants is truly a spectacle. From the tree's perspective, though, imagine being you standing still while ants walk by carrying little tips of human fingers, and perhaps a snippet of nipple, or some foreskin, or a piece of upper lip.
What the
From
fuck?
that perspective.
Oh god, that's a visual thing right there. He should have stopped at the fingers, but yeah. Damn. I think these are, one of that kind of ants who basically takes leaves and creates a home type of thing. I think I saw that in the Kuzgazar video, right? Yeah, I think this was the ants, or maybe there were some different ants. But I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to take these leaves and create a multi-story house or something like that. They do that, apparently.
Horrifying. David, I'm serious. That is actually poop. Of course, the question remains.
Okay, what happened there about the David? I mean, every other ant is carrying leaves. Why is David? Is David damaged or something? He's not realizing that's not leaf.
The farmer's mother do they need all those leaves for? Are they assembling a perfect replica of the forest underground? Perhaps the earth is a giant piñata being stuffed. Or perhaps the ants are just playing a large game of leafy who's an asshole. It turns out that the leaves are transported back to their little hidey holes down into the ground to fungus chambers, which is a good name for a band, by the way. There, the leaves are processed to become food for fungi of the family Lepiataceae. They have to be picky,
this is
though.
different.
Not all.
In Kuzgazar video, those ants was making houses and things like that for them outside, not inside. So this is different thing. But apparently it's similar thing, creating some kind of house or something.
Fungi can be harvested. Some fungus, like cordyceps, zombifies its host, causing the ant to climb to a high place and grab tight, while the fungus sprouts a freaking spore from its head.
What the fuck?
Which is crazy. And a terrible, if slightly cool-looking way to die. Inside the leafcutter's nest, though, the processing...
Hold up there, I have to hear that one again.
There, the leaves are processed to become food for fungi of the family Lepiataceae. They have to be picky, though. Not all fungi can be harvested. Some fungus, like cordyceps, zombifies its host, causing the ant to climb to a high place and grab tight, while the fungus sprouts a freaking spore from its head. Which is crazy. And a terrible, if slightly cool-looking way to die. Inside the leafcutter's nest, though.
What the fuck? So that ant basically climbed up there and hold tight while that thing came out. Spore. This is why I hate the word spore. I just said it in the video before. This is why I hate the word spore. So then the ant's gonna die. Oh god, that is so creepy.
The processing to turn leaves to fungus food is intensive. Worker ants of various sizes cut and puncture and pulverize the leaves, even discharging fecal liquids to help break them down into suitable pieces for their fungus farms. Finally, the resulting fragments are gently rocked into a network of fungal filaments. These fungus gardens then produce nutritious and swollen hyphal tips that grow in bundles called staphylae, which in turn feed the ants and their young. This incredibly complex relationship is the result of nearly 50 million years of coevolution. These fungi gave up the ability to create spores and are utterly reliant on the ants to survive. By comparison, 50 million years ago, the major social breakthrough for our ancestors was learning how to throw poop at each other and then laughing about it. It's still funny. The leafcutters are not alone in their pursuit of farming. Other species of ants have developed a mutualistic relationship with aphids, sometimes referred to as ant cows. A name.
There you go. So this is those ants, I think, that in Kuzgu's video he was talking about. That's the cattle that I was talking about. This is ridiculous to see. Ant has their own cattle.
Which neither cows nor aphids are fond of. But the ants like the name because it's kind of true. The ants protect the aphids from predators and parasitoids, and in some cases they will look after the aphids' eggs, feed the young aphids, and even carry them to the best grazing area on the plant. If you fall asleep on the job like this one, the aphids get feisty. Tappy tappy, back to sleep. The aphids feed on the sap of the host plant and excrete a lovely sugary nectar referred to as honeydew. Aphids that aren't ant cows will drop that honeydew away into the ground, which is generally a good rule of thumb for things that come out of your ass. However, aphids that are tended to by ants will secrete smaller droplets of honeydew and make them available for the ants to eat. The ants often milk the aphids by stroking their rears to stimulate the flow of sugar-rich secretions. Hold it together, man. The ants then suck
I heard his voice changing there. I'm like
up that honeydew into their two stomachs, one for themselves and another one to feed their friends through a process called trophallaxis, or reciprocal feeding. In summary, the ants eat aphid poop and puke it into their friends' mouths. Listen though, don't judge. I would gladly secrete a tiny little hamburger out of my belly button for you to eat. I could wear a half shirt and a little fanny pack filled with napkins.
What the fuck? He changed the whole video, man. See how this is effed up.
That would be sharing like an ant do. The variations of mutualism that ants participate in are seemingly endless. A recent discovery, for example, involves a parasitic plant that lives inside of a tree and then creates these little knobby things on the tree's bark. Caterpillars eat these knobs, and ants protect the caterpillars. And once in a while, the ants play patty cake on the caterpillar's tummy. And there's a secretion, people. And the ants eat it. There's just a lot of secretion. I feel a bit insecure about the value of my own secretions. Certainly nothing to write home about. Although that would be a very funny letter to write. Perhaps life is really just about finding a taker for what you're giving. David, look around you. No one is carrying anything that even resembles poop.
Yeah, I'm worried about David though. Something's wrong with David's mind, I guess. Man, this was the funniest video I've seen from this channel. Even though I didn't watch that much, this is the third or fourth video, but still. Man, the way he was describing, I know he basically written things in a way that would sound funny, but still the way he was explaining, I could hear his voice cracking, just that. Oh man, he just changed the scene in the end. That was just ridiculous. Alright people, if you like my reaction to food, like and subscribe, check out the reaction, there's a link in the description, check out the cast for the place, check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.